Look at these mountains, look at these houses that were carved within the mountains. But when the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala comes, when the decree of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala comes, nothing can benefit you. Some of the graves within Madyan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is the area which is known as Madyan, the area where the people of Shuaib alayhi salam used to reside. They used to live within this area. Now, the people of Shuaib alayhi salam, they used to carve houses within the mountains, and we will show you in this video inshallah. Shuaib alayhi salam was sent to them, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala narrates their story to us in the Quran, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَإِلَى مَدْيَنَ أَخَاهُمْ شُعَيْبًا, that to the people of Madyan, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent from amongst them the Prophet Shuaib alayhi salam. Shuaib alayhi salam, he called his people to the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he told them not to associate anyone or anything in worship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These people that used to live here, they used to worship a tree which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, also a type of tree which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about in the Quran, al-Aikah. So Shuaib alayhi salam told them not to associate anything or anyone in worship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and worship Allah alone. They didn't listen to Shuaib alayhi salam. The second sin that they used to commit, which they were known for, was that they were not fair in their dealings. So when it came to taking what was owed to them, they used to make sure that they take everything which is owed to them. But when it came to giving back to someone that they owed, or when it came to, for example, on the weighting scale, in their dealings, when it came to the rights of others, they would not fulfill the rights of others, and they would eat the rights of others. They would do dhulm, they would oppress others. So Shuaib alayhi salam, he told them not to do this. They didn't listen to this either. The third sin that they used to commit was that they used to sit on the highways, on the main streets, on the roads, and anyone crossing this area, because they were strong people, firm body, strong. So what they used to do, they used to rob people. Any traveler that used to walk past or travel from this area, what they used to do is they used to sit on the way, and they would rob them from their wealth and take whatever they could from them. So Shuaib alayhi salam told them not to do this. They didn't listen to this either. Rather than listening to Shuaib alayhi salam, they started mocking Shuaib alayhi salam. They used to laugh at him. Shuaib alayhi salam, he had a deficiency with his eyesight, so his eyesight was slightly weak, and he wasn't as healthy in terms of body and the strength as they were. So they used to mock him, and they used to say to him, وَإِنَّا لَنَرَاكَ فِينَا ضَعِيفًا, that we see you from amongst the weak. We see you as one of the weak in amongst us. And they used to mock Shuaib alayhi salam. Shuaib alayhi salam, he called them and tried explaining to them again and again, and he gave them examples of the people that had passed before them, because before Shuaib alayhi salam's people were the people of Lut alayhi salam. There was no prophet between Lut alayhi salam and Shuaib alayhi salam. So he kept reminding them that look what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did to the people of Lut when they became sinners and they did not listen to their prophet. Look at what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did to them. These individuals, rather than listening and obeying their prophet, they continued mocking him. They would scream at him, they would shout at him, they would laugh at him. And then it came to the point where they said to Shuaib alayhi salam, you and the minority that have followed you, either you allow them, those that have come and followed your religion, you leave them to join back with us, and they come to us and they unite with us, or you leave us and you leave our city. Get out of Madyan, get out of this area. Shuaib alayhi salam, when he lost hope in these people, he said to them, you think that I'm lying to you, and you're not wanting to listen to me, even though I am sincere for you and I'm wanting good for you. But if you do not wish to listen, then we will wait and see. I will see and you will see that who's speaking the truth and who's the liar, because they used to call him a liar. And they said that if you are a prophet of God, then make dua to your Lord to send an azab, the punishment upon us. What are you waiting for? And do you think that your worship and your Lord that you worship, you think that we will listen to you and we will do our dealings according to your wishes, according to how you tell us to do our dealings? And do you think that we will worship just your Lord and leave the lords of our forefathers? Never. So Shuaib alayhi salam, when he lost hope with these individuals, he turned to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and he left these individuals. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he sent 3 forms of adhab upon them, 3 forms of punishment upon these people, upon the people of Madyan. The first form of adhab that was sent upon these individuals was that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala stopped rain and the earth became dry. It was heat, severe heat, no water, no rain. And they came out of their houses looking for water, looking for some sort of wind, that maybe if the wind was to blow, it would cool them off from the heat. But there was no wind, no water, and no shade. This continued for 7 days and 7 nights. As the scholars mentioned, that after a few days, after a few nights, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he sent a cloud. Afar they saw a cloud, and they, with the hope that this cloud will rain water and it will bring shade, they ran towards this cloud to seek shade from the sun and from the heat. When they reached to the cloud, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he ordered the cloud and it started raining fire upon them. So rather than drops of water, drops of fire started pouring down upon these individuals. And many of these people of Madyan, the people of Shuaib alayhi salam, were destroyed from that water, from that fire that was pouring down upon them. Second form of adhab which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent upon these individuals was Allah commanded the earth to shake. And the earth, the mountains, these started shaking. And there was an earthquake, severe earthquake. Why? Was because they were very arrogant. They thought that because they've carved houses within the mountains, that nothing can harm them. Nothing can harm them. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed his power and he made the mountains shake, and these houses that were carved within the mountains were not able to be of any benefit to them. This was the second form of adhab that was sent upon them. The third form of adhab, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he made so there was a very loud scream and a noise from which their hearts burst, their ears they burst, and they couldn't bear the noise of that scream, that sound. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destroyed them with that form. The first form was basically the cloud, and that was because they used to challenge their prophet, and they used to say that if you're the true God, true prophet of your God, and your God is true, then tell him to send down a adhab from the skies. So that was one. Second was the adhab of the earthquake, because they were arrogant. They thought that their mountains would protect them from the adhab of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah destroyed their arrogance. Third adhab was sayha, a loud sound. And the reason for that, the scholars mention, Ibn Kathir rahimahullah, he mentions the reason for this was because they used to scream at Shuaib alayhi salam. They used to laugh at him, they used to scream at him. And this, in return, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent a form of adhab in the form of a sound, a scream, which destroyed them. So this is just some of the incidents, the story of people of Shuaib alayhi salam. The area is known as Madyan, close to approximately about 200 to 250 kilometers away from Tabuk. Tabuk, as we know, is 700 kilometers approximately from Madinah al-Munawwara, and this is then 200 kilometers more from Tabuk. inshallah I'm going to recite some of the verses which are mentioned with regards to Shuaib alayhi salam's people. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned the story of Shuaib alayhi salam in detail in Surah Hud. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says with regards to them, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإلى مدين أخاهم شعيبا قال يا قوم اعبدوا الله ما لكم من إله غيره ولا تنقصوا المكيال والميزان إني أراكم بخير وإني أخاف عليكم عذاب يوم محيط ويا قوم أوفوا المكيال والميزان بالقسط ولا تبخسوا الناس أشياءهم ولا تعثوا في الأرض مفسدين بقية الله خير لكم إن كنتم مؤمنين وما أنا عليكم بحفيظ قالوا يا شعيب أصلاتك تأمرك أن نترك ما يعبد آباؤنا أو أن نفعل في أموالنا ما نشاء إنك لأنت الحليم الرشيد قال يا قوم أرأيتم إن كنت على بينة من ربي ورزقني منه رزقا حسنا وما أريد أن أخالفكم إلى ما أنهاكم عنه إن أريد إلا الإصلاح ما استطعت وما توفيقي إلا بالله عليه توكلت وإليه أنيب ويا قوم لا يجرمنكم شقاقي أن يصيبكم مثل ما أصاب قوم نوح أو قوم هود أو قوم صالح وما قوم لوط منكم ببعيد واستغفروا ربكم ثم توبوا إليه إن ربي رحيم ودود قالوا يا شعيب ما نفقه كثيرا مما تقول وإنا لنراك فينا ضعيفا ولولا رهطك لرجمناك وما أنت علينا بعزيز قال يا قوم أرهطي أعز عليكم من الله واتخذتموه وراءكم ظهريا إن ربي بما تعملون محيط ويا قوم اعملوا على مكانتكم إني عامل سوف تعلمون من يأتيه عذاب يخزيه ومن هو كاذب وارتقبوا إني معكم رقيب ولما جاء أمرنا نجينا شعيبا والذين آمنوا معه برحمة منا وأخذت الذين ظلموا الصيحة فأصبحوا في ديارهم جاثمين كأن لم يغنوا فيها ألا بعدا لمدين كما بعدت ثمود.